What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the New York Giants franchise rebuild here on Madden 25. Last episode, we left off in Super Bowl week where we did see that the 49ers did beat the Bills 20-14. I didn't go through the box score in that one, but Brock Purdy, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Josh Allen, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Running the ball, McCaffrey looks like he ran all over the defense. Allen had a rushing touchdown in this one. Keon Coleman, the young wide receiver coming into his own, had over 100 yards. Ayuk, 2 touchdowns. That's good for him. Ron Northcutt, he was drafted in this series. He's looking very good. Deion Dawkins really struggled in this game, it looks like. Nick Bosa had a sack. Leonard Floyd was the Super Bowl MVP with his 2 sacks. Darius Thomas, a young player, also getting 2 sacks. Douglas had the lone interception, and Tyler Bass missed a field goal. So that is how this season comes to a close. As we are in the offseason now, we're going to go to the re-sign stage. Before we get to that, we have some retirements to go through here. As we look through, Harrison Smith retires, Bobby Wagner, Demario Davis, Derek Carr, that's a nice one there, Tyron Smith, Jimmy Ward, Carson Wentz. Let's see, Cam Jordan on our team, he retires after 15 years. Juszczyk retires. Darius Slay, Teron Armstead, Zach Martin, that's good for us when a division rival retires like that. Keenan Allen on there. Some big name retirements here. Tyrann Mathieu, if you're losing in the Super Bowl. Zach Ertz there. Anybody else worth mentioning? It doesn't look like it. Justin Pugh, former New York Giant there. But yeah, those are the rest of the retirements. And we have mock draft 4 here. So we actually are picking 3rd in this class. And I didn't show you this last episode, but as you can see, Daniel Davidson is a round 2 to 3 talent. So that's something to think about. And it does look like the Colts here are projected to go quarterback. I have made it a rule where I am not going to look at mock draft 5. I think it's too cheesy. I think it makes the game too easy. It basically is exactly how the draft is going to go. I mean, there's some minor tweaks, but like for the most part, those players are going in that spot. Mock draft 4, it does change around a bit. So we'll see how that goes. Joey Shaughnessy, also around 2 to 3 talent. He's projected to go 6th to the Jaguars. But another guy here, Jeremiah Murray, also projected to go pretty high, but he's around 3 to 4 talent. Another guy that I liked was the corner, Amir. His name is slipping me right now. Amir Rowland, that's who it is. He's projected to go 32nd. I really like him, and I would consider trading back up into the first round to select them if we do decide to go with a guy like Daniel Davidson here at number 3. We're in the re-sign stage now. Deonte Banks wants his 5th-year option. We are going to reject that. I do want him on the team, just not for that price. Cordell Flott, we're going to let him go. He did have a good end of the year, and he does have that star development, but I'm going to look to bring in some better corners in the offseason. We could always look to try and bring him back to in free agency. Evan Neal, we're also going to let go. He just did not work out. Got to take our loss there. George Sprinkle didn't do very good for us in the time that he was given. He can go. Adoree Jackson can also go. He's 30 years old now. Daniel Bellinger can go. He's a 3rd-string tight end. Javonte Taylor is somebody that I would like to bring back. He was an undrafted free agent for us. He doesn't have much interest, but he will take that 1-year offer for about $3 million. Bryce Salas I would like, but he wants a big deal. I'm going to try to get him back in free agency, not in this stage. DeAndre Gaithers, he was the starter in that last game of the season. I didn't really see enough to keep him around. We will let him go. Connor Bowden, I do want to bring back. I actually want to give him a little bit better of a deal here. 3-year deal, and he is going to accept that, so that's good for us. We still have 99 million in cap room. Clint Perry, a backup guard. I'd like to bring him back, and he will also come back. He did struggle in that Week 18 game, but we'll see if he can develop. Anthony Nelson, I'll let test. Charles Snowden, same deal. Kendrick Bourne can also go. He was good for this year, but I don't think we'll need him around. He's aging. Jermaine Illuminor had a bad season. He's also regressing. Lorenzo Carter was good, but he's regressed. We'll let him go. And Tommy DeVito can also go. Nunez Roches can go. So that is going to be the end of the re-sign period. We don't bring very many players back, but not too many big decisions. All right. Free agency is here. Week 1. Let's see who is available. And 99 overall, Micah Parsons. Whoa. All right. Mark Andrews is available. Joe Thuney, Brock Purdy. I'm not looking to bring in the Super Bowl winning quarterback here, even though he has a lot of interest. Same with Micah Parsons. He also has a lot of interest. Close to home is something that he values. Could be somebody that we try to bring in, but we don't really need edge rush help. If we continue here, Khalil Mack is interested. Jameson Williams. Now that would be interesting. I'm definitely going to have to think about that one. He has 3 offers. There is Rasul Douglas is interested. Patrick Ricard, David Bakhtiari. So some linemen here. Ivan Pace, he's a good linebacker. Josh Metellus as well. Interested. Tyler Algier, we could bring in a running back. DJ Reader has some interest, but I'm going to go through here and see if there's going to be some guys that I want to offer. If we take a look here at the quarterbacks, Brock Purdy, like I said, he's interested. I'm not looking to give him $56 million a year. So if we want to solve our quarterback problem, probably not going to be able to do it in free agency. There is not too many receivers interested in us in the top tier. We've got some mid-tier guys, but Jameson Williams having just a little bit of interest in us. He wants a lot of money per year, but we have money to spend. Let's offer him a 4-year deal here. Him and Neighbors could be a really, really elite duo. Let's see where this offer gets us here. Decent strength. If we go to the targeted, we are number 1 on the board. Titans in 2nd place. If we can get Jameson Williams on this team, that would really, really help out our offense that really struggled last season. We do need to replace Adoree Jackson in the slot. Rasul Douglas would be a perfect fit. He only wants $8.5 million a season. We're just for 1 year. Definitely going to offer him that. Make sure we're number 1 on his board, and we are. So that will be the 2nd player that we offer. We need some help at running back really, really bad. Rachaad White looks like he could be a good option. I'll give him a 2-year deal here. He doesn't have any offers. 2 years, $10 million. Hopefully can get the job done. We need an upgrade here at right tackle. We did lose Evan Neal and Jermaine Illuminor. I'm going to give Dan Moore here a 1-year deal worth $7 million and see if he accepts that. He's a good pass blocker, not a bad run blocker either. I liked his rating, so he gets an offer. I liked Anthony Nelson as one of our backup pass rushers last season, so I'm going to give him an offer as well, and that will be our 5 offers for this first stage. So let's see if we get anything accepted. I'm going to evaluate, and a couple guys have made decisions. Rachaad White has some interest now from the Raiders, it looks like, but if we go to the signings, we did get the 3 players that we were going after. Jameson Williams, welcome to the New York Giants, along with Rasul Douglas and Dan Moore. That's huge, but with Rachaad White getting this big offer from the Raiders, I think we're going to go ahead and pull out of this one and look elsewhere. Jaleel McLaughlin here, he has pretty good ratings. He's actually a good receiving back as well. I like a lot of the ratings here. I think I'm going to give him an offer. He actually is one of the only running backs that even have any interest in us. And he's only 25 years old. He looks like he could be pretty good. We will give him a $3 million offer for 1 season. All right, after looking around for a little bit, there isn't really anybody else that I was interested in this first period. So I'm going to go ahead and evaluate these offers. Actually, there is one guy that I do want to go back and look to see if I can get back. Oh, wow. Micah Parsons is going to the Bears. We'll take a look at this in a minute, though. But yeah, there is one guy that I want to go get. It's actually going to be Cordell Flott. If I can find him, he's right here. He actually has an offer. Ooh. We'll up this a little bit. I actually liked how he played the end of last season, and we are tied with the Dolphins here. Let's see if he makes a decision. He will not. So we're going to have to go ahead and simulate the week and see if we get any of these guys to sign. So Cordell Flott is not here in our targeted, and he is also not here in our signing, so he must have chose somebody else. But let's go take a look and see where some of the players around the league are going. Obviously, we saw Micah Parsons go into the Bears, 4 years, $80 million. No, that's just, or 4 years, $61 million. I'm sorry. Is that $61 a year? It's got to be, right? That would make a lot of sense. Mark Andrews going to the Broncos. Joe Tooney to the Cardinals. Brock Purdy going to the Broncos as well. So the Denver Broncos spending some money here. Fuller going to the Panthers. Let me just go to signed here. Moton also, man, the Broncos shouting out some money. Ryan Kelly. I mean, the Broncos must just have all the cap in the world. Khalil Mack going back to the Raiders. I like that. More players getting signed by the Broncos. Evans going to the Raiders. Algier to the Vikings. White to the Raiders. Metellus to the Seahawks. I think that's a really good fit for him, actually. So lots of players switching teams, it looks like, but we just have 2 guys left that we're looking to sign. I'm not looking to sign anyone else, so hopefully we get some accepted, and it looks like they both do accept. So we're only going to add 5 players this season out of free agency. Not very active free agency for us. Nothing wrong with that. We could go out and get Patrick Ricard for our fullback, but I'm not really too worried about it, to be honest. I forgot there was one guy that I wanted to bring back. It was Bryce Salas here. We'll give him a cheap contract here. 3 years, $6 million. I don't know if he will take that or not, but we'll see. And also, I was looking at the roster. We really need some D-line depth. I kind of like Grady Jarrett. I think he would fit our team pretty well. Just as a backup, another veteran presence here. I'm not going to give him too much. We'll offer him about $7 million here to come for 1 season, and let's go ahead and evaluate these 2 guys. They don't accept the first time. Jarrett makes a decision, and Grady Jarrett is the newest member of the New York Giants. Salah still waiting it out. I don't know if he will sign that contract or not. If not, I can probably get him back in open free agency when the new season does start. Salas did not end up signing, so we'll see if we can get him back in open free agency when we can sign like the undrafted rookies and all of that. But this is our free agent class for this season. Jameson Williams, the big signing for us. 83 overall, 25 years old, 98 speed. He's going to be a stud for us. Him, Wandale, and Malik Neighbors are going to be the head of our receiving core. Getting into the draft now, we pick at number 3, as we said earlier. And really, it's going to be quarterback, or do we go in a different direction? It's hard to say. We have our private workouts as well, so we have to find some players for that. But the only 2 quarterbacks that I liked were Daniel Davidson, who is the number 1 projected guy. Beautiful spiral on all his passes. He gets happy feet and feels non-existent pressure. Does well to avoid sacks by throwing the ball away. plays well within and outside of the pocket, and he has a 3/4 fast motion, good throw power, elite strength, decent speed, A awareness, A break sack, A juke for a quarterback is kind of nice. B play action, A deep, B medium, A short, B throw on the run, A under pressure. The skills look good, and I'm hoping that he has a dev trait, and I think he is going to be the pick at 3. But let's take a look at all of our options. David Spellman here. He's the second quarterback on the board. Beautiful spiral on all his passes. Could use some improvement at recognizing pressure. Does well to avoid sacks. Vast majority comes inside the pocket and a quick motion. Elite throw power, elite strength, decent speed with C awareness, B play action, B deep, B medium, A short. D throw on the run is what scares me the most about him. He is a statue in the pocket. He's a good quarterback, but not what I'm looking for. And then the only other guy that I would consider is Joey Shaughnessy. He has beautiful spiral. He doesn't know pressure is there, is the thing that really I was worried about. He has great throw power, B awareness, B play action, C deep, A medium, A short, C throw on the run, B under pressure. So I think that Daniel Davidson is going to be our pick at 3 if he's there, which he was projected to be there in mock draft 4. On to the next position, running back. I did want to add a running back. I know we added one in free agency, but I really like PJ Allen. He's 22 years old, 5'10", 228. See his combine, 4.45, 28 reps on the bench press, A ball carrier vision, A break tackle, B carrying, A trucking, B stiff arm, only D juke, C spin move, but he's a round 1 talent, round 2 to 3 projection. I really, really like him. I know Kenya Cobb had a positive draft story about him, but I wasn't too interested in him. A couple other guys I have on the board here. Christian Morant, who I really like. He's a power back, 6 feet, 234. Ran a 4.51, 29 bench reps, A stiff arm, A trucking, A carrying. He looks like he could be a good player, but not the most athletic. I also have Dave Griffin here, another power back at 226. He ran a 4.53. It's kind of similar mold to Morant. And then the last guy that I had on the board was Austin Quick, another power back who runs a 4.55, A trucking, A ball carrier vision, B awareness, B break tackle. He would be a day 3 guy. At tight end, there is a guy that I really like, even though we have a good one. Day 3 guy here, Ronald Bond, 6'6", 246, ran a 4.72 with great speed, 26 bench reps, A awareness, A catch in traffic, B deep route running, A run block, A pass block, which I don't really care about. For tight end, A to C break tackle, A to C short route running, B to D medium. Ronald Bonds looks like he could be a stud tight end. Definitely somebody I would look to draft later. I would say O-line is still a position of need. We have Quentin Spears here. He has elite strength, 38 bench reps, A awareness, A pass block power, C finesse. He looks like he could be good. His run block could be really bad, though. He is a power guy, so I would assume it wouldn't be like horrible. He's a 2 to 3. And then Calvin Blackman, another power, 6'6", 339, big tackle, 34 bench reps there, B awareness, C pass block, C run block, more of a balanced skill set, I would say. He's a day 3 guy. He looks very interesting. We do need some edge help here, but really it's kind of stacked towards the top, not much down the board. James Addison and Sean Duval look really good. I really like Duval here with his A block shed and A tackle to go along with his B awareness and B play rec. Moving on, I do have some defensive tackles. The best one that I liked was Michael Ford. It actually has him as round 2 to 3, but earlier it had him at round 1 to 2. So he must be right on that cusp of like being, a top, round talent. So definitely somebody that I like. I have a couple other guys here on the board. I have some pass rushers here that I really like, and one of them I was super interested in. I believe it is Gary Knoll. He's a round 3 to 4 projected player. I think I want to use one of my focus players on him. He does have that A power move. I want to see what his finesse move is. I like his awareness and play rec. It's in a good spot, and he has good pursuit. He looks like he could be really good. He's 6'5" out of Notre Dame. I think he's going to be somebody that we use one of those focus players on. We used a focus player earlier in the season on John Redstrom. I do like Will Boston as well. He might be another guy that I use, and maybe Darren Boone as well. One of them is going to get a focus scouting from me. I just have to decide which one I want it to be. I have a couple corners here on the board, my favorite being Amir Rowland. I think it is definitely a position that we still need to address, even with the signing of Rasul Douglas. There wasn't too many that I liked. I didn't think it was a good corner class, but Amir Rowland definitely was my favorite. I don't even need to use a focus scouting on him. I like his talent. He's ran a 4.45. He's got good bench for a corner. A-man, B-zone, B-press. I mean, what's not to love there? C to F awareness. We don't know his awareness, but I don't think that would deter me, even if it was an F, to be honest. So our 3 focus players here are going to be Gary Knoll, Darren Boone, and Mike Brown, all linebackers, but Knoll is more of a pass rusher. Boone and Brown are more of the Mike linebackers. So I'm going to use my focus scouting on these 3 players and get some more information on them. After getting the information on them, we see that Gary Knoll is a round 3 to 4 talent, so he is around where he's projected. At middle linebacker, we have Darren Boone, who's day 3. I decided to go with him over Will Boston because I felt like I had enough on Will Boston. The only thing that I don't like is I don't know his block shed, but everything else looks really good. If he's there in the 3rd or 4th round, I think I would end up taking him. And then Mike Brown is a round 1 to 2 talent. He looks like he could be very good. And that is why I used it on him. He looked good. He looked amazing. And turns out he might be the best guy on the board in that 3rd round if he's still there. All right, without further ado, here we are in the NFL draft. The Patriots pick number 1 overall, and they are going to select Doug Barnett, right tackle. And I don't think that's what the mock had. So already going off of what mock draft 4 was, brings up the Falcons at 2. They take Marquez Watkins, who I thought was going to go number 1. So that brings us up to number 3. And I don't have to think about this one at all. We're going to go ahead and take our quarterback. Daniel Davidson is going to be the future quarterback here of the New York Giants. Davidson was 62 in true value. We drafted him at 3. And he has hidden development. That was big. That was the big thing that we needed him to have. I don't know what it is. It could be star, superstar, maybe X Factor. Who knows? But he has 91 throw power, 75 strength, 78 speed. So he has enough mobility. Daniel Davidson is a New York Giant. 10 picks in now, and we're the only team that has taken a quarterback, so it looks like a lot of teams scared away from them as they continue to fall here. The Saints don't pick one up, even though Derek Carr retired. Chargers don't really need one. Cowboys don't need one either. The Jets, they have a superstar X Factor. One of the rookies was Markel Grimes. He actually had X Factor development, which is crazy, but we passed on him. He was the guy who had lower talent grade. Not a lot of corners coming off the board now, and that was a position that I'm looking to get somebody, and the Lions are going to take Herschel Carr, so that's going to be their Jameson Williams replacement. Marquis Godwin going to the Vikings, and finally another quarterback goes. It's going to be the Raiders. They're going to take David Spellman. He's the second quarterback off the board. Broncos go with Scott Dyson. They did get Brock Purdy. They brought in a lot of players. I mean, we saw how many players they brought in free agency. So looking to get better there is, I guess, Bo Nix is no longer going to be the starter. DeAndre Lamb gets taken, and now the Ravens take a tight end, and we might want to think about trading up. Amir Rowland is the number one corner on the board now, and I definitely am interested in him, but I don't know who I would trade up with. I would say the Eagles do need a corner. Slay did just retire. I know the Texans wouldn't need one. I think if I was going to trade up, it would have to be with the Texans or the Panthers. So we simulate 3 picks here, and nobody takes the corner. So I think I'm okay with simming past the Texans pick. They won't go corner. I don't think that Carolina would either, but this is definitely a spot where we could think about trading up. So I went through all 3 teams that are behind the and I went through the Panthers. None of them need a corner. Now I know Rowland was projected to go 32nd to the Niners in mock draft 4, but I think he might slide. I think if we get him in the 2nd round, they do go secondary. Jamal Odin. There's a couple players still on the board that I think would go above Rowland. The Niners at 32. They take Joe Shaughnessy. They do need a quarterback. So that makes a lot of sense. So we're in the 2nd round. Let me go look at the Falcons and the Patriots. The Falcons do not have a need at corner, and the Patriots do. It's their number one need. So if we were going to make the move, it would have to be right here for sure. They do have Christian Gonzalez. I mean, they have like okay corners, but I think we're going to have to try to move up. We're only moving up 2 spots here. I mean, 2 spots in the 2nd. If they want to pick up a 6, would they do that? They will. So we will move up 2 spots here with the Patriots. We give them our 6th round pick. And we're going to go ahead and take Amir Rowland at corner. 21 years old. He's a man-to-man. He looks really, really good. We're going to waste no time in taking him. Number 4 in true value. We get him at 33, and he has hidden development. So 2 for 2 in this draft on hidden dev. Great pick. So the Patriots traded back 2 spots with us, and they're going to go J.C. Beck to center. Jeremiah Murray's going to the Steelers here in the 2nd round. Pick 42. Good pick for them. We'll have to take a look at these guys' ratings. And the first running back goes off the board, Byron Thorne. John Redstrom goes here to the Jets at pick 47. He was a guy who was on our board. He looked really good. He's out of Boise. He'll be a good player for them. Landon Allen goes to the Raiders. And I am looking at a running back. And now the guy that I want is number 1 at his position. It is P.J. Allen. He has the round 1 talent. I really want him. He's pretty high up on the big board as well. I don't think that the Broncos would go running back here. They don't. Commanders probably wouldn't either. I could see the Bengals. Oh, the Commanders do. Oh, wow. They go P.J. Allen. Oh, that sucks. I really wanted P.J. Allen. Wow. He goes at 55. All right, we are up here at pick 67. And there is a couple players that I would consider. I'm looking at the board real quick. I could consider a trade down here. As we look at the big board, Brenton Boss is number 1 on the board. None of our favorites up here until we get to Brett Gabriel here, but I probably would not go him. Gary Nolan, Mike Brown are up there for me, and as well, there is the defensive tackle, Michael Ford, who's 3rd on the board. And if we look at right outside, Brown is second and Knoll is third here. So I think I could trade down a couple spots and try to pick up an extra pick later, which I think would really help us. We have made a trade here. We're going to move down a couple spots with the Titans. We give up a next year's 7th to move down, and we pick up a 6th round pick for this season. So Titans move up to 67. We move down to 72. And the Titans are going to take Brenton Boss as their trade up. That's who they wanted, and we allowed them to go up and get him. I am not going to waste any more time. We're going to go down and take Mike Brown, run stopper, out of USF. And Brown is number 48 in true value, 72nd is where we took him. He has normal dev, 87 speed though, 91 excel. Could be a good player. We'll have to see if he can get on the field and get some development. Will Boston, somebody that we talked about, he's going to go to the Bengals here at the 88th pick. I want to see his ratings. I know Mike Brown is probably better. Michael Ford goes to the Eagles. He's going to a division rival. No. If he was going to go somewhere other than us, I would not have wanted it to be a division rival. I didn't want to trade up. We don't have that much draft capital, so that really sucks. Gary Knoll goes 2 picks later to the Chiefs. At least he's in the AFC. I mean, he's only a 3 to 4 talent, but I really would have liked to get him. All right, after much consideration, I'm going to just go ahead and take the tight end here, Ronald Bonds. I don't want to miss out on him, and there isn't really anybody else in this spot that I want to take. I don't really like my trade down options either, so we're going to take the 21-year-old tight end out of Colorado, Ronald Bonds, number 9 in true talent, hidden development. We have 2 hidden dev tight ends now. Bonds looks like he could be really, really good. We need some some D-line depth here. I like Julius Lawrence a lot. He's a 21-year-old right end from Texas. C block shed, C power move, B tackle. He has F finesse, but good strength. And he just looks like he could stop the run pretty well. We just need a backup. So I think he can do that for us. He's going to be our pick here in the 5th round. Took him a little early, 89 strength, but he's just depth for us. All right, we're going to take a little flyer here in the 6th round. We have this Keenan Jackson. He's a 5'9", 177 deep threat, 4.27 speed. But I'm thinking, the ratings here don't look the best. But I'm thinking if we move him to running back, maybe he could be pretty good. So we're going to take him here. Keenan Jackson. He's 102 in true value. He has normal dev, but 98 speed, 99 agility, 93 change direction, 98 excel. If he can work out at running back, that could be a steal of a pick. I have one guy left on my favorite sport. It is Calvin Blackman. He is going to be our 7th round pick. 270 in true value, so probably not the best guy, but he might make the practice squad or something. All right, here is our draft recap. Daniel Davidson, 72 overall. He was the number 3 overall pick, and he is the same overall right now as Otis Gamble, but his ratings just look a lot better. He probably gets the start, but we could watch some preseason and see if, he beats him out. He does have paranoid sense of pressure, which does worry me a little bit. We'll see how it plays out in the game, but he has hidden development. Then we have Amir Rowland, 76 overall, hidden dev for him. And his ratings look really good. 81 man, 77 zone, 75 press. He's a good athlete. Decent awareness. He can't really tackle, so he's definitely a boundary corner. He's not wearing number 48. I'll change all the numbers later. Not really worried about them right now. The one guy's number that I do want to change, actually, I think I might let him stick with 4. I kind of like 4. Him and Dak could battle it out for who's the best number 4 in the division. Then we have Mike Brown, 73 overall. He's a run stopper, 90 hit power, 87 speed, 78 pursuit, 75 block shed. Where is his zone coverage? Is only 57. So it's definitely something he has to work on. He's going to be an inside linebacker for us because we run a 3-4. I don't think I want him wearing number 44. Maybe something in the 50s. How about 54? I like that on him. That might bring his overall down a little bit. It does. I think he goes down to a 72, but that's where he's going to be playing. Then we have Ronald Bonds, another good tight end for us here, 6'6", 246. He's a better athlete than Hamlin, better blocker. He might just be better overall, but Hamlin does have superstar dev, so he probably will start, but gonna have to get some twin tight end sets, and maybe one of these guys plays in the slot or something. I definitely want to incorporate both of them onto the field when we can. Then there's Julius Lawrence here, some depth at end. We lost a couple guys there, so probably won't amount to much, but he's there. Then we have Keenan Jackson here. He's actually a 70 overall at receiver, 98 speed, 98 excel, only 69 catching, 70 short, 79 deep. What is his 69 ball carrier vision is kind of bad. 65 carrying isn't the best, but he can work on that. Only 62 break tackle. What is his overall if we move him to running back? We already have some guys that can play receiver. If we move him to running back, change his number here. He can be number 24. I like number 24 on him. Save that. He only goes down 1 overall. So he's a good receiving back, good elusive back. Obviously not going to run you over or anything, but Keenan Jack, he's an entertainer personality. I love that. That's awesome. 98 speed, you definitely are an entertainer. We'll see how he does in the preseason. And then Calvin Blackman, only a 64 overall, left tackle. Probably won't amount to much either, but he's there. Let's go take a look at around the league now. NFL, the number 1 overall pick, Doug Barnett, hidden dev for him, right tackle. Very bad pass blocker. His ratings are very comparable to Evan Neal. He's a good athlete, just a horrible pass blocker. He has hidden dev, so he could work on it. I thought Marquez Watkins was probably the best player in the class, 75 speed rusher. He has hidden development. Yeah, he looks solid. I mean, he was one of the best players in the class, in my opinion. Obviously, we got Davidson here. Staley, 71 overall. If we go and take a look here, there is Jimmy Booth. He looked really good. Eric Gray, Joe Winters. I'm looking for some quarterbacks here. We should probably take a look at what some other guys in our division also took. Herschel Carr, actually, I want to look at him. He only has normal dev. Man. He looks really good, but only normal dev for Herschel Carr. It's definitely interesting. We'll take a look at our division rival classes in a second. I want to see David Spellman here. He's a 72. He had hidden dev. He has the strong arm. He's pretty comparable to Davidson. They're the same overall, so we'll see. I don't know which one will have better dev. We'll have to wait and see when they get revealed. I don't know if Spellman will even start. And then there was one other quarterback, I think, that went in the first round. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, there was. Last pick. Joey Shaughnessy. He also has hidden dev. He's the replacement to Brock Purdy in San Francisco. I don't know if they have another guy that they got. The best overall in the class was Christian Morant. Oh, wow. And I passed on him. He only has normal dev. Wow, I could have took him, but I didn't. Couple running backs up here. Bonds was second, tied with Booth and Gray, and Landon Allen, another running back here. He had hidden dev. Another bruising back for the Raiders, too. That's perfect for them. And then I also saw Amir Allen's up there, so that's good. Where was... I forget his name. PJ Allen. 74 overall, normal dev. Okay, so maybe it's good that we didn't get him. And he actually does go to a division rival. So let's go take a look at some of our rivals here, the Commanders. So they botched their first round pick, Aaron Hutchins. Only has 65. I mean, he has 99 speed. He might be better at running back. So he's there. And they got PJ Allen, who we looked at. Andrew Sheffield's okay. They drafted a quarterback. Not a good class from the Commanders. How about the Cowboys? They get Dwayne Langford, a corner. Not good in man. Only normal dev. 23 years old. Not the best pickup there, but they get a 74 overall safety here in Sheldon Whiteside, who has hidden development. Looks like he could develop into something nice for the Cowboys. And then they got a 73 overall running back here, Zach Hamilton, power back. Missed out on some running backs. And the Eagles, they took a lot of players that were good. Cortez Casey in the first round. He was a 75 overall. Big run stopper. He can rush the passer a little bit as well. Hidden dev for him. Do they need more interior pass rush than they already have? They also get James Addison here, another guy with hidden dev. He's just a straight-up run stopper for them. They're building up that trench some more. They get Will Logan, 73, hidden dev guard. He's a good pass blocker. Okay, run blocker. Needs to work on the run finesse and run power, but he's not letting anyone sack Jalen Hurts. And they got Michael Ford, another guy that I liked. He only had normal dev. He's another interior pass rusher. Looks like he could be very solid as well. Eagles with a star-studded draft here. Even Connor Casey in the 5th round, another 70-plus overall power back. He looks pretty decent. Good backup. I think they lost Kenneth Gainwell. So that's going to be the draft here for us. Let's go ahead and simulate to the next week, get on to signing some undrafted free agents, and see what we can cook up here. All right, first player I'm going to sign here is actually going to be Sam Hubbard, a veteran. I think we need some more D-line help. He can rush the passer a bit, good block shed, good tackle, not the best strength. So he might not be the best for our scheme, but he could play outside, he could play on the line. So we're going to go ahead and sign him. I see George Sprinkle sitting here in the free agent pool. I'll re-sign him, give him some reps in the preseason, see if he can make the roster. I don't think too much of him, so I wouldn't count on it. Bryce Salas, I did try to sign him in the free agency. He's still here in the pool, so we're going to bring him back to the team. I liked what he did in Week 18 against Eagles in last episode, so we'll see if he can make the roster again. Another undrafted corner, Dion Oakley's got good speed, good excel, pretty good zone coverage. The man needs some work, but he's an undrafted rookie. Obviously, he's not going to come in a good spot, but he will be added to the roster. I'm a big fan here of Dimitri Brown. He's an undrafted end, 85 strength, 79 speed, 75 tackle. Needs to work on the block shed a little bit, but we'll add him to the roster. We need some more depth on the edge. We have Nathan Russell here, he has a high chance of making the roster. He actually has good block shed as well. Not the most athletic guy out of Delaware State. Nathan Russell, everybody. What about Desmond Teague? Star development, undrafted out of Alabama, 21 years old, 6'2". Man coverage corner. His zone is really, really bad, guys. But star dev, I might as well take a flyer on him. Emmett Vaughn, we don't really need a safety, but I kind of like his ratings. He could be a guy that makes the practice squad. So we'll go ahead and take him. Why not sign the Super Bowl MVP, Leonard Floyd, some more pass rush depth for us. Okay, I've made all the signings I want to make. So this is the final roster heading into the preseason. We have Andrew Thomas at left tackle, John Runyon at left guard, Ethan Sademan at center, James Daniels at right guard, and Dan Moore at right tackle. So the O-line basically staying the same with the addition of Dan Moore, Tyler Hamlin, and Ronald Bonds at tight end. We also still have Theo Johnson. At receiver, we have Malik Neighbors, our superstar talent. And then we have Jamison Williams now alongside him with Wandale as the third guy, Hyatt at the fourth. I really like that. Our running back situation hasn't gotten much better. We did sign Jaleel McLaughlin. We have Tyrone Tracy still. We have Keenan Jackson, the 98 speed receiver converted to running back. He's going to get some run in the preseason, so we'll definitely see how he does. We have Davidson here, Daniel Davidson. He's going to get the starting reps to begin, but Otis Gamble can still win the starting job. I will not count him out. They're the same overall. Gamble, he didn't have the best rookie year. He has a trigger-happy sense of pressure, not paranoid, but we'll see how that ends up going. Davidson does have the better development, so he does get the edge. Locke will be our third string there. Going on to the defensive side of the ball now, we have Melvin Galloway as our free safety, Brian Burns as our right edge rusher, McFadden and Okereke man the middle, Thibodeau at left. That's still all the same. Tyler Nubin at strong safety. We upgraded the secondary. Amir Rowland's going to be our number one corner, which really means he's going to be going against the number twos. Deontay Banks is going to be cornerback number 2. Douglas will be playing in the slot with Drew Phillips and DeAndre Teague behind them. At right end, we're going to start Tershawn Wharton, Grady Jarrett behind him, and then Dimitri Brown. Dexter Lawrence mans the middle. Wharton is still going to play some DT. And then Kenny Huggins going into his second season. I really liked what he did in the first. Is this going to load? There it goes. So we'll see what he can do here in year 2. He gets the start the other end spot. That's going to be the team. Obviously, whenever it loads, kicker and punter are going to be the same. Bradford and Patterson man that down. Keenan Jackson's going to be returning our kicks and punts for us. I'm super excited here for year 3 to get underway. If you guys are too, make sure you leave a like, drop a subscription as well. It's free after all. And I will catch you guys in the next one. I don't know yet if I'm going to watch some of these preseason games and make that an episode. I'm just going to sim through it. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. But I will catch you in the next episode regardless. Peace out, everybody.